everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about what it's like to have type 1 diabetes. So I got diagnosed with type 1 when I was 17 years old, and before they even diagnosed me, I was having weird symptoms about 3 years before, leading up to it. So I remember I was a freshman in high school, and I used to get really shaky when I was in class, and I would go to the nurse, and she just thought I was crazy because she didn't know what was wrong with me. But later, obviously finding out that I had diabetes, it was probably because my blood sugar was too low. And I just used to get really hungry all the time. I remember one day I was feeling really weird, and my older sister actually has type 1 diabetes too. So she gave me one of her old test kits to test my blood sugar, and when I tested it, it was 56, and that's too low. It's not supposed to go under 70. 70 for me, my body still feels like that's low. Everybody's different. Some people can do 80 and 70, but for me, that's it just feels very low for me. So that's when we knew that I had obviously something wrong with me. I went to the endocrinologist, and I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, which means I am insulin dependent. So I started off using syringes, and that was a pain in the butt because you have to, before every single meal or whatever you eat, you have to give yourself a needle, and I always did it in my stomach because that's where I had the most fat. My sister, she does it in her arms and stuff, but I just wasn't comfortable yet because it was so new to me. So I didn't want to put it in my arm because I couldn't, when you're putting it in your arm, you can't see where you're putting it. So I was just really scared to do that. So I was doing that for a while, and then I started getting spots on my stomach where it was getting hard from the needles going in so much. So I had to change it up, and I finally went back to the doctors, and they put me on the insulin pump. So now I just wear a pump. It's on the back of my arm. You guys can't see it. But every 3 days I change that, and you control it from a remote. So it's way better than giving yourself syringes every day. It's still a pain in the butt to change, but it's way better than giving yourself needles. I don't think anybody likes doing that. So having diabetes, it just overall makes you tired, and it just takes the energy right out of you, especially when your blood sugar is fluctuating from high to low. It just drains you, and there are days where you just feel sick, and it's not because you're sick, you just have diabetes. And it gets very frustrating because me, I'm tired every day. There's nothing, even if I get 10 hours of sleep, I'm still tired, and it's just from having diabetes, which that gets very frustrating because there's nothing you can do about it. And managing your blood sugars and keeping them under a certain number, because they can't go too high and they can't go too low. It's very hard to do that, because if you eat the one wrong thing, or you take a little bit less insulin than you're supposed to, or a little bit too much, then you just throw your blood sugar off for the whole day. So it definitely takes some getting used to. I've had it for a couple years now, so I'm obviously way better at it than I was when I started. And when your blood sugar is low, that's probably the scariest part about having diabetes, because it can drop at any given moment. I always bring juice boxes with me. When your blood sugar is low, you're supposed to drink or you're supposed to eat 15 carbs or drink something that has 15 carbs in it. But every diabetic that you talk to, when their blood sugar is low, they will always eat more than 15 because you feel like you're going to pass out. So you eat until you feel better, basically, and then your blood sugar usually ends up going high. Not all the time. It depends on how low it actually is. The scariest part about low blood sugars is that they can drop during the night. And if you're asleep and your sugar is low and you don't wake up, that's really scary. My sugar has gone low when I was asleep a couple times, but thank God every single time I've woken up. I'll usually have a dream that I'm telling my husband that my blood sugar is low, or that I need to eat something, and then it wakes me up. But you wake up in a panic because you're shaking. High blood sugars, they're not fun either, but they just make you feel really sick. I get nauseous a lot of the times if my blood sugar is high, and I just get super really hot a lot, and sometimes it actually gives me problems breathing. The highest mine has ever been, I think it was 525, which is really high. I was at work one day and I realized that I couldn't breathe right. So the first thing, of course, I did was check my blood sugar, and it was really, really high. So I had to take care of that and go sit down and everything. One of the most annoying things about having diabetes is that wherever I go, I always have to bring some kind of like purse or bag with me, because I always have to have a juice box, at least one, my insulin, my test kit. I always have syringes just in case my pod breaks, and I have to have the remote that controls my pod. So I always have to bring that with me because I never know when my sugar is going to be too high or too low. So that's annoying because I would like to just be able to bring my phone with me or my wallet, but I have to bring everything. My husband has been a big help with me having diabetes. He is very good at like telling if my blood sugar is high or low. He'll usually tell me to check my blood sugar, and he'll be like, your blood sugar is high, like you need to check your blood sugar, or he'll tell me that I think your blood sugar is low, you probably need to eat something. So it's definitely a big help having somebody here that like supports me, you know what I mean? And he helps me manage it. So let me know down in the comments if you guys have any questions, or if you guys also have type 1 diabetes and how it affects you. If you have type 1 or you know someone that does have type 1 and you guys have any questions about it and how to manage it or handle it a little bit better, definitely shoot me a comment. Thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye!